So I've machined the socket down. I've had to bore it out, make it deeper, and then I machined this edge because there was such a big chamfer on here. It was missing quite a bit of the surface of the nut. And of course we're using the 6-sided type socket. This is how they sell the spanners. So you can buy a spanner in that if you want to spend $30 or $40, but I'm just going to modify a socket. So we wound the preload for the spring right down, which is this one. This is the one we want to get the socket onto, and this is what stops the socket from reaching all the way. So now the socket will get all the way down to here. So this socket fitted, but with all the little spliney fits like that, it actually damages the corners. You can round off the corners quite easy, and these feel quite tight, so I don't want to risk it. Right, so the tool needs to have a inside diameter larger than 43. So inside we are 43. And we want to measure the OD of where the seal sits. So we are 54. Alright, OD, we are 54, so no bigger than that. No smaller than 43. So this inner lip sits a little bit higher. So I just want to make the seal tool land in this zone here. I don't know if you can see that. That means we want an ID of 48. ID, that's 54, so we want to go a little bit smaller. So we're going to go 53 on the OD. So how does that work with the dust seal? So the dust seal tool we want to be 59.5. So that's the oil seal. Dust seal we want 59.5. 59.5 OD. And once again we want it to land on that lip nicely, so a little bit of play there, probably about there. So that's 52 ID. Right, so the oil seal tool, dust seal tool, 59 OD, 52 ID, oil seal 53 OD, 48 ID. Let's go make that up. So I can't find anything at home I can make out of metal, but I've got this piece of plastic pipe reducer from the hardware shop. So this diameter here, we need to shrink it down to 53. We only need to come down to about there because we only need to be able to push that in to push the seal up that far. And then the inside diameter is pretty much perfect down this end with 48.5. So we'll bore the inside, we'll do a little step on the outside, and then we'll cut it in half so we can put it over. So I'll go do that on the lathe. So that's the oil seal end. Fits perfectly there. And then the dust seal, we just need to take a little bit of a chamfer on there, and then that should land nice and flat on there. So now we just put it in the vise, and then we'll use the vise to square it off, and we'll just hacksaw it. Already done that side. So here's the seal tool. We're finished. So this end is the end for the oil seal, and then flip it over, put a little bit of a chamfer in here, and that was the side for the dust seal. And then the tube, so just drill a hole all the way through so the oil can leak out there. Okay, this is the bit where we measure up to make the tool to take the compression off the spring so we can get to the nuts that are inside here to get this cap part off. So you've got a hole on both sides, and we are 9.8 on the hole. And the tube, we are 31.7. And from the top of that tube to the centre of the hole, 13.5. So you go, 9.8 is the hole. From the top of the tube to the centre, 13.5. And the outside, 31.7 millimetres. This is millimetres. Alright. So if you want to be able to make a tool, there's some dimensions for you. And then the spring tool. So that's just 35 inside there. Those are their tape, that's about 50mm long. The bolt centre is about 20mm from that edge there. And it's 30mm wide there, and the bolt is in the middle, 15. And it's about 8 or 9mm thick steel, and then just tap the hole for M10 bolt so that you can thread those into the tube. And then that was just bolted to the house here to hold it in place, and then I used the jack to push the forks up against this. So that's how all the parts for the tools and that were.